Hello, everybody. This is Suzanne from the Valley Who's, and for the ones that have just tuned in, we are doing the virtual book launch for Mary Buchan. Mary is the author of the book Over It, and we're having a party because it's a big event, of course, but we want to take this opportunity to introduce you to some wonderful ladies out there that also has a story to tell. So we wanted to kind of tie it in with Mary's story. And today, right now, at this moment, I have a wonderful guest, and I just want to read you her biography, a small biography, before I go and ask her all the questions that we're dying to ask her. So my next guest is a business coach. She's a speaker extraordinaire. She's a super mom and author of the book Profit Domination: How Successful Women Get on Top and Stay There. And the program I'm talking about is called How Big Is Your Butt? Well, here we go. I think this is going to be a very special moment with Odette Laurie. Please welcome Odette.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so excited to have you with me, Odette, because I know you a woman of many strength and many, how would I say that? You have so many things in your bag and you do so many things. And I think everything that you do is going to be a real inspiration for all of the ladies listening to us right now. So I'm going to start by asking you just a little bit about where you come from, where were you born, and you know, what kind of family you grew up with, just so we know a little bit about your background. Okay?
Yeah. I'm homegrown here, right here in Toronto, Canada. And my parents are like entrepreneurs up the, you know, like the 100% entrepreneur in their blood ever since they were kids. They came over from Holland and really taught me everything I knew about business, and because I watched them build and grow an amazing transportation company here in Canada. So.
Okay, so you were like, you had the entrepreneur blood in your vein already. Yeah. I think you are born an entrepreneur. It's not really something that you learn. You can learn some skills that the entrepreneur has, but the real roots of the entrepreneur is risk-taking, creativity, the perseverance, and the determination that the entrepreneur has. It's something that you have. This is your innate talent.
You can learn the skills and the strategy on how to build a business, but the guts, the determination, the never give up attitude is something that you either have or you don't. You can sharpen them, but you've either got that drive or you don't.
So talking about things that you have sharpened, because I'm sure that it's not always easy, or it has not always been easy. Is there something, because we want to make the connection over here with Mary's book, what would you say would be the biggest thing that you had to overcome in your life?
The most difficult thing I'd have to say was when I first started Women on Top about 4 and a half years ago, and I launched full-time. I went full-time, had my, you know, the job was no longer. That ended July 31st or 30th, and I started August 1st of 2010. Within about a month, that's when my world really started to unravel, because I thought I had the world by the tail at that point. You know, I had everything ready to go. I was so excited, and that's when I found out that my relationship, my common law relationship, was not going to be a relationship anymore. And that in itself is enough to, you know, it's a bit of a, you know, it's scary, right? And it's an emotional thing that you know, whether you want it or don't want it. And I started to do a lot of the questioning, like, how am I going to do this business by myself? I'm on my own. How am I going to make it financially? All of these things were going through my head. But I really decided that I was going to stick with it, and I was going to make it happen no matter what. About a month later, I got the call from my sister that my mom had fallen and broken her hip. And my mom was 80. And that was when really things started to unravel, because a few months after that, my dad fell and broke his hip. Oh, and in the span of 2 months, they both passed away. So that first year of business was a breakdown of a relationship. So my future is almost, you know, it's gone. I have to recreate my future. My past is now wiped out because I'm an orphan. My parents are both just passed away. And I ended up moving this same weekend that we had the funeral service for my mom. But the sort of the icing on the cake was when I woke up one morning somewhere in that sea of chaos, and I was literally unable to move my arms or my upper body because the stress was so bad. It was like pinching the nerves in my neck. And that lasted for about a year. So I wasn't able to use my arms or my hands. And you know, when you're building a business, right, you have to drive you to networking events, pick up the phone, write webinars and all that kind of stuff. And I still persevered and built a business from 0 to 6 figures in that first year, despite all of those life circumstances. And it was that will and determination of I have no choice to, sink or swim.
So would you call that, like, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot that you've overcome. I mean, people have one situation to overcome, like a divorce, and they think it's the end of the world. But you had all of that, like the separation, your parents dying, and you being sick all at the same time. So what would you? Where did you get your strength? How did you make it?
There's many different areas. Like I have 2 teenage daughters, and at the time they were 3 years younger, so like 12 and 15, I think. And I really drew on their help to help me kind of get through the day. I had friends, of course. My clients were very helpful because I did have a lot of clients, and they were supportive. I had to be there for them, so I had to kind of rise above all the stuff that was going on. And I developed this phenomenally thick coat of armor. I had to look internally to say, you know what, this is up to me. I have 2 kids. I have bills to pay. I have food to put on the table. I really had to draw from deep, deep, deep down within myself. And of course, we always have friends and colleagues and things like that. But I think ultimately it was the collective pooling together of all those resources. And I still tap into each and any one of those, members of that. I call it the survival time. So just so that I don't sink back into that.
It's pretty awesome what you're sharing, because I'm sure you know this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, right?
Yeah.
And he's talking so much about, are you prepared to do whatever it takes?
Yeah.
And for me, this is exactly what you did. It's and I would not even call it desperation at this point, because it's more like you didn't have the choice. You had this. You found the strength. You were prepared to do whatever it took to survive, to make your to make a great living with your family. So that's huge. Once again, Mary is sharing about how she overcame many situations in her life. What can you share with here, Odette, about, if you want to leave a message to the ladies that might find themselves in the same situation, what would you recommend to them?
There's 3 things that you must have in order to be successful at anything that you want to do, whether business or in life, and that's clarity. You've got to get really clear on where you are right now. I was really clear where I was, and it was so apparent. And I realized that I need to be clear on my vision. What is it that I wanted for my life? I could have slunk back down and gotten a job, or I probably wouldn't have survived much long in the job. But what is your vision? What do you really want? Not what does somebody else want? And this 3rd thing is motivation. Is what do you want to get away from? I was really clear. I never wanted to get another job, and I was willing to do whatever it took so that I wouldn't have to go back 9 to 5 and be in a job I hated, or just in a life I hated. So you have to have clarity of where you are right now, super clear on what your vision is and what you want, and really motivated to getting away from what you don't want. And that is almost more important, because we know what it feels like to be stuck in that pain of what we don't want, more so than we know what that vision or that dream is like, because often we haven't experienced it. So if you really do follow those 3 things, you have nowhere to go but up and get the success that you want.
I see that you have something in common already with Mary, because she's saying that she starts with clarity as well, that you need to be clear about what it is that you want and what you don't want. And I think that's a big challenge for some people. And then she says, once you're clear about what you want, is to take action, make the first step towards going to what you want, right?
Right.
Odette, I know that today you are a very successful businesswoman. You are a business coach and all that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what is your purpose behind what you're doing, and how people can get in contact with you?
My purpose really is, when I first started this business, is to take the tools and the strategy of what got me successful from my very first business back in the 90s, and how I was able to take an idea and build it into an extremely successful business, and it's still around 21 years later. And just to teach other women and men that it takes mindset, it takes courage, it takes money, it takes great marketing, it takes great branding, and I teach all of that in the programs that I have. And for people to get a real taste of what I'm all about, and some of those strategies on the mindset, marketing, and the money, you can download my guide called How Big Is Your Butt? The 7 Ways You Sabotage Your Own Success. And that's at www.businesswomenontop.com. And you can also reach me there at Odette at businesswomenontop.com. Remember to put the word business in there, because then it becomes a whole other website, which I'm not a part of.
Okay, I'll make sure not to make a mistake with that. Now, you are offering a price today because of the virtual book launch. What is your price that you're offering today?
I have 2 books, Profit Domination, How Successful Women Get on Top and Stay There. And my second book is, so that's the first book. You can see it?
Yep. Yeah, thank you.
This is an amazing book. It's a picture book, and it's 201 Rules for the Road. I've also written a second book, which is just coming out, second edition printing, called Paralyzed, Getting Past the Excuses of Why You Aren't Successful. So for now, let's just, the giveaway in the book is it's usually a $20 value for Profit Domination, How Successful Women Get on Top and Stay There.
Every hour on the hour we're doing a draw, so we'll see who's going to be. We'll let you know who's going to be the winner of this. Before I let you go, Odette, is there any anything that you're doing in the future that maybe people would want to go to your, if you have any event or any conference that you're having that maybe you can talk about?
Absolutely. Thank you for that. I have a lot going on. I have a live event in Toronto on November 12th, and it is going to be near the airport, a full-day event. And it's going to be on mindset, marketing, and money. So November 12th, near the airport. If you want to get some more information, once again, it is on my site, but it's at Odette at businesswomenontop.com, because we're just putting together the marketing material. So it's going to be an amazing event.
Okay, so people mark your calendar for November the 12th. I hope that you all show up, because she's a very dynamo person. I know I met her. I know her in person. Yes. So please go and sign up on her website. It's going to be an amazing event. For closure today, Odette, one last piece of advice. I know I want to get a lot from you, but one last piece of advice for all the women that has a challenge of overcoming it. One small piece.
Stop saying the word I can't. That's it. Don't ever say it again. It's the worst 4-letter word ever.
I love it. I love it. I'm totally with you on this. I think I changed the word I can to, no, I changed my word I should to I could.
Yes.
And I think once you change those wording, the energy around it changes completely.
Well, when you change the words I can't to how can I, your life changes. It's that simple.
Okay, so that's a trick. Change I can to how can I.
Yes.
Odette, I want to thank you so much to be here today with us and to participating in the virtual book launch. And I want to say to the audience that are here today, please stay tuned. We're going to have a draw. You might win Odette's book. Every hour on the hour, we're going to have a draw. And thank you for being here. And don't forget to send us the questions and let us know when you buy Mary's book. So we'll talk to you later. Odette, have fun. And you're very precious to me. Mwah, mwah. And,
I love the French.
soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.